Welcome to Fancounters. My name's Nick.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we greatly appreciate you listening. Without you guys out there tuning us in every week, we wouldn't be here. So I want to thank you for that. And if you're enjoying our show, please share it with your friend. Send a tweet. You can tag us at Fancounters Live. We'd love to see all the tweets, and we will certainly shout out back to you. And then on Facebook, please join Sharpie Nation. Let's get this group populated. And you can do that by searching for Sharpie Nation on Facebook and asking to join, and we'll let you in. So that's a good way to contact us. Any other way?
Well, you can always email us at hello@fancounters.com.
Excellent. Now, Elizabeth, I've been looking at our stats lately because, honestly, our listenership has gone way up in the last 3 months, probably since February.
Yes, thank you.
We gained a lot of new listeners, so welcome back. But what's funny about this is the stats that we can look at give us kind of the area where people are listening from. Can you guess our biggest market? It's in America.
Iowa.
No, San Francisco. The San Francisco market gets the most downloads out of any city in the United States.
Thank you, San Francisco.
That's pretty cool.
We appreciate that.
L.A., New York, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Boston, Philly. Those all rounded out like the top 10. It's
Boston,
pretty cool.
That's a shout out to my brother.
Right,
Peter.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for getting all your friends to listen, honey. I love you.
And this is really funny. The biggest market outside the U.S.
Yeah.
is an area called Hebei, which is outside of Beijing, China.
Really?
Isn't that odd? It's
I have nothing else to say to that.
How do they find us? And do they understand us, or they just like the sound of our voice?
I don't know.
I think that's really funny.
I don't have an appropriate response for that.
So the stats on the show are really entertaining to look at. But I do want to thank you for listening, and I'm asking for your help to continue to help grow our audience, especially in your area. So share it with people that you know. We do have a great guest this week. There's a film coming out tonight, Friday night. It's movie night.
Yep.
Go out there. See this movie. We're going to tell you about it in a second.
I've seen the previews.
Have you?
Yeah, many times.
See, I fast forward commercials too much, so I don't really watch any ads.
No. I've seen it both on TV and in the
at
theater.
The theater?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I show up 15 minutes late.
Oh, yeah, no, I got to get there in time to see all those.
Well, Elizabeth, movies that have plots featuring teenagers facing the challenges of growing up is nothing new, but a movie is being released this weekend that's going to change all that. If you're looking for a movie recommendation, go see The Sun Is Also a Star, which is based on the young adult novel of the same name written by Nicola Yoon.
The film follows Natasha Kinsley, who is a young quantum physics student who meets a student named Daniel. The two quickly form a romantic relationship, but must struggle to keep it together in the wake of Natasha's family facing deportation from their home.
On the show today, we've got one of the stars of the film, Anais Lee, who plays the younger version of Natasha. Anais and her twin sister Mirabelle have been acting since they were just 3 years old. You may recognize them from hit shows like The Blacklist, Veep, Madam Secretary, and more. Anais has also starred in several Nickelodeon promotions and national TV commercials. And she's joining us here today to tell us all about it.
Coming to you from nowhere near the entertainment capital of the world, this is Fancounters with Nick and Elizabeth on the PodFix network.
There was this mob of people, and they're screaming my name.
Crazy fans.
Stop following me. Don't come around my house. If you do, the cops are going to be at yours. If I'm having dinner with my wife, don't sit down at my table. Don't follow me into the bathroom.
Can I take a picture? We're gonna. Oh my God!
I think this guy wants to fight me. Ended up being a fan.
I'm the only one that's ever been on Sam Jackson and lived to tell about it.
Well, guess what? I have a big surprise for you.
That's why we call it Fancounters.
I don't think you're going to last on the air very long.
Anais, welcome to Fancounters. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Now, this has got to be a nervous weekend for you because your film, The Sun Is Also a Star, is coming into theaters this weekend. So give us a little update about what the last few weeks have been like for you as you're promoting the film and spreading the word.
I've been doing a bunch of interviews and TV interviews, and they're all so much fun. And I just really want to spread the word because the movie is really amazing.
Now, you've been doing some traveling along with these promotions, correct?
Yes.
Have you visited any new areas?
I'm pretty sure I'm doing an interview in Washington, D.C., and I don't think I've ever been there before.
Cool.
That'll be a fun place to see. There's obviously a lot of monuments and landmarks that you'll recognize.
Yep. And we mentioned in the opening that the film is based on a book of the same name. Have you read the book, or did you before filming or since filming?
Yes, I actually have read the book. When I first got my audition, the first thing I did was read the book. So I had a bunch of knowledge on like my character, and it just gave me a lot of information.
And I don't want you to give too much away, but when reading the book and obviously, knowing what's in the script, how closely or different are the two projects?
They're actually a lot the same, and I really like that because sometimes when I'm watching a film that's based off of a book, like they're not that similar, but this is actually a lot alike, and I really like that because the book is amazing, the movie is amazing, so I already read the script, but obviously there are like some differences to like make the movie like longer and stuff, but it is like a really good movie and book.
So tell us a little bit about the film and your role in it.
The movie is a love story based on the characters Natasha and Daniel, and Natasha is from Jamaica, but recently she found out that she will be getting deported like the day the movie is like happening. Okay. And then she meets Daniel, and he tries to get her to fall in love with him in one day. And because they only have one day to be together. So
wow.
The movie really looks through like the lens of chemistry and fate and asks like the viewers the question, can you fall in love in a day?
Okay.
Wow. I don't know about that. That they have these shows, these 90-day fiance type situations, and I just don't know about
None
that.
of it seems to be ending well.
That's not a lot of time. Even though the film is probably aimed at teenagers and young adults, my wife will probably like it because Natasha studies quantum physics. My wife has a PhD in astrophysics. So I'm kind of wondering, Anais, did you have to do any studying of, additional science and physics in order to understand the younger role of Natasha?
I actually didn't, because Natasha finds her love for physics when she's in America and as she goes on with school in America. And my role, I just moved to New York City. I had just come from Jamaica. So later on, I would find my love. But the age I am in the movie right now, I don't know about it as much.
Okay.
So you show up as flashbacks.
Yes.
Okay.
And were your scenes shot in New York?
Yes. All of my scenes were shot in New York. There were some places that we made to look like Jamaica, but it was so cool because it actually did look like some streets of Jamaica, and it was actually reality, just New York City. But I really loved the city, and it was so fun filming there.
So were you filming on actual city streets, or were you at some studio backlot?
I was actually filming on studio streets. We filmed on a rooftop in New York City, and I remember one scene, it's in the trailer, where I'm leaning my head on my fake dad, fat dad Zanga's shoulder, and we were filming that on a park bench in New York City, and then all of the cars were going by us, and they were all looking and wondering what we were doing, because it was just a bunch of cameras facing two people, and they were shouting out from the windows, "Are you guys filming a movie?"
Not anymore. So give us a little bit of the backstory about how you got involved with the film. How did you find out about it, and what was the audition like?
My agent sent me the audition, and it said that I had to play a younger version of Yara Shahidi, and I said, oh my God, this is perfect for me, because a lot of people have told me that I look a lot like her.
You do look
I
similar.
did a bunch of research, and I read the book, and it just gave me a lot of knowledge about my character and answered some questions that I had about the script. And I still remember this. I was in the audition. I was next, and I was just saying to myself, Anais, you can do this. You can do this. You are young Natasha. And it really gave me a lot of motivation. And I got the call back, and I was so excited. And I got on hold, and I finally booked it, and I was jumping for joy. I was so happy.
So were you waiting to go into the room with other people also reading for that same role?
Yes. My sister actually was reading for the role too. Sadly, she did not get it, but she's so supportive of me, and she was there with me along the way. She was so excited for me too. And there's other girls there that looked a lot like me, and they looked a lot like Yara Shahidi too. And I was like, oh, ooh. So I was a little nervous.
How do you not let that psych you out when there's so many people that kind of look like you? You're all going for the same role. How do you not let that get in your head?
I really just try to block it out, and I just focus on my lines and myself. And I just don't really worry about other people because I know worrying about them isn't going to help me. So I just really focus on my lines, make sure I get all the lines right, and my emotion in the scene. And that's what I really focus on.
You and your sister are identical twins, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, do you often go out for the same roles?
Yes, we often go out for the same roles since we look a lot alike. And auditions, when you first get the auditions, they're based on headshots. So
Okay.
Sometimes I get the role and Mirabelle doesn't. Sometimes Mirabelle gets the role and I don't. But we're both really, really supportive of each other. And we always know, like, there was a reason why one of us didn't get that role. Like, Mirabelle, she's better at comedy kind of roles, and I'm better at drama. But we're always so happy for each other. I remember when Mirabelle found out that I booked it, she ran out to me, and she was jumping up, and she said, "Hey, you got to send us out to a star." I already knew, but we didn't tell her because we had to sign all the contracts first.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Mirabelle, I know." but, you know, I love my sister so much. And if she gets a role, I am so happy for her because a win for one is like a win for all.
Aww.
We hear that a lot about twins who are both competing for the same roles. Okay.
So if you're allowed, what piece of magic in the movie is your favorite, and what would you say audience should be looking for as they head to theaters this weekend to see The Sun Is Also a Star?
I think the magic that I really enjoy is the chemistry that Natasha and Daniel have together. And Yara and Charles, they're actually really good friends in real life, and their chemistry on and off screen is just amazing. And I think people should just really be like enjoying the film because it's an amazing film.
In the movie, Natasha is very left-brained, like she does a lot of math, science, and logic, and Daniel is very right-brained, like creative and writing and art and that sort of stuff. What side of the brain is your strength?
I think I'm a mix between both because my dad is more left-brained and my mom is more right. Because I'm really good at reading and writing, but I also enjoy math and science. So I think I'm a little bit of a mix of both.
And how about your sister? Does she kind of fare in that same middle area?
Yeah, she's more on the right side, but she's also towards the middle.
There are a few chance encounters in the film between characters, so we're kind of wondering, do you believe that there are random things that just happen in the world? Or do you believe in fate and destiny, bringing people together?
I believe in fate and destiny, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. I don't think that things just randomly happen. I think there actually is fate and destiny because everything happens for a reason. There's a reason that thing happened to you.
Now, we stalked your Instagram a little bit. So I saw that there was some pictures posted that you went and saw Mean Girls. Did you go on Easter to see Mean Girls?
Yes, it was such a good musical. I love it. It was so funny, and all of the singers and actors in it were amazing.
Now, do you go to Broadway shows often? I mean, you're in Philly, right? So that's not too far from New York City.
I don't see them that often, but my family, we're going to try to see more, and the next one we're going to see is Lion King because one of my friends, Chinua, he's in it.
Oh,
and
cool.
so we're going to come support him. And we also want to see Legally Blonde.
Yes.
Oh,
That's got great music in that show.
Yeah, I love that movie. So you spent a lot of time in New York. In fact, did we read that for the past 3 years you've been a model for the New York Fashion Week?
Yes. I think I've been doing it since I was 7, so actually 5 years. I just realized that. And I've actually been walking New York Fashion Week since I was 5 years old, I think. So I did Vogue Bambini, and then I did Petite Parade. I walked the runway for curl formers for texture on the runway, And I love Fashion Week. Every time it comes around, I'm so excited. And Rookie USA, the brand that I walk for every single year, they have recently started like moving to cities. Each show used to be just in New York, but last year it was in LA, and then this year it was in Charlotte, and I'm pretty sure next year it's going to be Chicago.
Cool.
And I'm so excited. I love traveling. So, and those shows are just so fun, and I love all the people that are behind the scenes, and I just love walking the runway and dancing at the end of the runway with my sister.
Now, tell me about what that really entails for you as far as, are the outfits pre-picked for you before you get there? Are they doing that? What, when you arrive, are they fitting you? I mean, what is that experience like for a model?
When you first arrive, you do a fitting to make sure all your outfits fit. And I always love all my outfits. Last year for Nike, I got this one like fluffy pink jacket, and it was so cool. And so, the brand, they pick out your outfits for you, and then you do a fitting, and they make sure your outfits fit, and we do a little adjustment to make sure they fit perfectly. And then the next day, we do rehearsals for the end of the runway, so we know, like, how long the runway is, and we can get comfortable using it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the actual show later on that night, and it's crazy backstage, but it's so fun. I enjoy every minute of it.
Do you get to keep the clothes, or do you have to return them?
Sadly, I do not get to keep the clothes. I wish I could.
Okay.
My Nike outfit this year and my Converse outfit, they were like amazing.
All right.
She'll be out buying them once they hit the shelves. Anais, how did everything start for you? You've obviously been in the business since you were 3 years old. What made your parents want to get you and your twin sister in the entertainment business in the first place?
Well, when I was 2 years old, I was in the park with my babysitter, and a photographer came up to us, and he asked if we could do a photo shoot for his clothing line, Loom. And my babysitter said, well, I have to ask our parents. And he gave us his card, and when we got back home, my parents, they thought it over. A lot of people told us that we should be models, and we said, why not? Let's just give it a shot. And me and Mirabelle actually really started loving it. So we submitted the pictures to an agency in New York, and they responded immediately. And so then ever since then, we did modeling, and then we got an audition for a movie, Blood Ties, and we ended up getting it. And then I realized I really had a love for acting, too. So I loved both modeling and acting.
Both you and Mirabelle are trained dancers in ballet, jazz, and hip hop. Did you ever think that an appearance on Dance Moms might be in your future?
I've never actually thought of that because I mainly do acting and modeling. I do dance a lot. Like, I take dance classes every single week, and I've been doing it since I was 2 years old. But I've never thought of Dance Moms. Okay. I don't know.
That's probably a good thing, though.
Yeah.
People have a love-hate relationship
with it. I watched the show, though. There's a lot of yelling. Yeah. Whoa. But I really like the show.
You've done several guest starring appearances on some really big TV shows. You've had scenes with stars like Tia Leone and Tracy Morgan. So, looking back, what are some of your favorite memories from those guest star roles?
I really enjoyed being on The Following. I was on it for 3 episodes, and I was working. My co-star on it was playing my brother. His name was Nathaniel, and we actually had the same birthday, January 9th. And one of the days that we were working, it was our birthday. And so the whole, the crew, they, made a cake and everything. They sung happy birthday to us. And the scene that they were, filming that day was, a birthday scene for, our stepdad in it. So there was, this whole, birthday party scene while we were, while they were singing happy birthday to us and we were blowing out our candles. And it was really, really fun.
Aww.
I loved filming The Following.
I try to watch The Blacklist as much as I can because I love James Spader. And I just learned when I was watching your reel that you were the little girl who was shot during a bank robbery scene on that show. So I want to hear from you firsthand. Tell us about filming that scene, specifically because you were shot and you had a wound and all that. So tell me how that all happened for you.
When I first got to set, the director came up to me and my mom, and they told us that it was real guns that they were using in the scene, but they were not loaded. So he wanted to let us know that they were not loaded. It was totally safe. And I wasn't that scared because when I was 5, when I was working on Blood Ties, there was a gun scene in there, and I had to, like, plug my ears. I had little, like, earplugs in my ears. But everybody said I was really brave. So that was the second time there was, like, guns on set. But the scene was actually really, really cool to film because they had to put, like, fake blood on my stomach. It was really cold, but it was kind of cool.
And how many days did it take to film that? Because there was multiple locations.
It took about a week to film. That's actually not that long. And we did the first scene was when I was waiting in the bank with my dad. We were sitting there. That's actually my sister because we shared that role.
Oh,
so,
my
like,
goodness.
in different takes, it was me, and then in another take, it was Mirabelle. I found that really cool. And
That
then
is cool.
The second scene that we filmed was when I got shot. That was also Mirabelle. And then it was when the main character came up to us and he told me everything's going to be okay. That was me. And then we filmed the scene where he was carrying me to the ambulance.
Right.
Actually, it was not the ambulance. It was the truck, and they were driving me to the ambulance. And we actually filmed that in the streets of New York, and people were crowded around watching because they actually thought I got hurt. And one guy I heard in the crowd, he's like, "Ooh, that guy got a shotgun."
Oh.
It was really funny.
Well, those guns
And
are scary in that scene.
Yeah. And after I finished filming, I still had the fake blood on me, so it looked like I actually got hurt. And a lady came up to me, and she said, "Oh, my God, are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, I'm okay. I'm an actress." And we were filming a scene for the Blacklist. And she was like, "Oh." Everybody thought I was actually hurt.
Aw.
That's funny. See, that's when you go into a restaurant and you just order like nothing's happening, and they're like, "You need to be at a hospital." You got to have some fun with that.
You've had some really nice guest appearances on some really big talk shows, like The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Live with Kelly, The Meredith Vieira Show, and Good Morning America. Do you prepare differently when you're going to go on a talk show to be yourself versus a scripted show?
It is different because I get to be myself. I get to answer questions by myself, so I don't have to prepare a script. They normally give me, like, the questions that they're going to ask me before I go on, so I, like, know all my questions. And so I just look through those, and I know all my answers. I just be myself, and they're always a lot of fun. I just recently did this talk show called Unplugged, and everybody there was so nice, and it was really, really fun. I definitely want to do more in the future.
You make me feel so much better, though, because we get asked this through email all the time. Do your guests get your questions ahead of time? And I tell everybody, of course, because what better way to answer the question than to really give some thought and give us a good answer rather than, you know, if you come up with something on the spot, it's going to be probably not as good, you know, because sometimes we put those memories way back there and we're like, oh, I should tell them this. So the answer is yes, and I'm glad to hear that other shows are doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's always good to be prepared instead of, like, just getting new questions just thrown at you. So you really can get some thought into the questions, and the question can be, like, the answer can be the best it possibly could.
Yeah.
Do you have any other memories that come to mind for any of those talk show appearances that might be, you know, interesting or unusual?
When I think I was 7, I'm pretty sure. I was on Kelly and Michael. Now it's called Kelly and Ryan. But I was with Michael, and it was like this kind of twin episode kind of thing. And we got to, like, talk with him about being a twin. And at the end, all the kids got to tackle him, and it was really funny.
Nice. He seems like he was a genuinely nice person. Not just like fake. So I want to talk about your lip sync battle, Shorty's performance that you got to do with your twin sister, Mirabelle. You danced and lip synced to the song I Love It. So I want to know how much rehearsal goes into that number before you actually perform it in front of an audience and the cameras.
There's a lot of rehearsal that goes into it. One of the first things that we did when I first got to set was rehearsed. Like, I got introduced to my dressing room, and then we just started rehearsals right away. And at the hotel that we were staying at, they gave us this little rehearsal space. So me, Mirabelle, and Max and Colby, who are also on the show, we practiced our numbers in there, like all day. Right after we got off set, we would always go right there and practice, and then we would have dinner. And there was a lot of rehearsal that goes into it, and I really have to give it up to the dancers that were in it too, because they had to learn a lot of dances just for one episode, and we filmed 2 episodes a day. And they were all so nice, and I'm still friends with some of them now. Like Archeon, we're still friends, and I saw him yesterday at an audition. It was really cool.
So I want to know about school. So what kind of school do you and your sister do? Are you homeschooled? Do you go to regular school? Are you...
Right now, me and my sister, we are on online school because we were doing pilot season. This is our first time doing online school, and it is definitely different. I do prefer going to public school because I get to see my friends, I get to interact with people during classes, and even though online school does have its benefits where I can fit around my schedule, I miss school, and I can't wait to go back next year.
Now, do you and Mirabelle do the same classes when you're home?
For online school, we have the same schedule and same classes and lessons. So
okay. Yeah.
If one of us is confused, we help each other. And then during regular school, during elementary school, we were always in the same classes except for math. But now that we're in middle school, we have to change every class. We're on the same team, which at my school is where our lockers are and our same general teachers. But we're not in any of the same classes. We see each other at lunch and through the hallways. But I always see each other when she's at her locker, and I always talk to her. But we have the same teachers, but just different periods that we have them, so we still help each other on our homework.
Okay.
I made her ask that question because my 7-year-old twins for K3, 4, and 5 were in the same class. So for first grade, because our school is we really recommend that twins be separated. And I was like, all right, we'll give that a shot. Same at yours?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
It didn't go so well, in my opinion, this year because one of my daughters got all of her friends in the class of the people we hang out with. And so my other daughter, Mackenzie, seemed to really struggle this year with a lot of anxiety, not being around her sister. She wasn't around her main peer group and that kind of thing. So I just submitted a form for them to be in the same class for next year because I just didn't think the separation was worth, the anxiety that I feel like maybe she took away from her schoolwork because she was so worried about other social things.
Yeah.
So I wondered about that for you.
In elementary school, we are always in the same classes, and I love having my sister in my class. So if because there were some years where I didn't have any of my friends in my class, but I had my sister, so I always talked to her. But then I made new friends. But in middle school, it's a lot different because you change classes every period, every 45 minutes. And so you're always going to get at least one friend in one of your classes. And we aren't in the same classes anymore, but it's still fine because I still see her a lot, and I have my friends from elementary school that came to middle school with me, and I made new friends too. We'll still have all the same friends, but it's a lot different.
Well, what is some of the things that you like about being a twin, and what is something that you wish, I wish this would just go away and not, not be a part of a twin thing?
What I love about being a twin is I always have my best friend with me. I like to say she's a built-in best friend because she always knows how to make me laugh, and she's the funniest person ever. And we're together 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
So I always have Mirabelle by my side. And she's in the kitchen right now. She's probably can hear me. And the only thing I mostly love everything about being a twin, but there's this one question that we always get asked, and it does get a little annoying sometimes, is when people ask, are you guys twins?
Yes.
And because sometimes we'll be wearing the same outfit, same hairstyle, same everything. People are still are you guys twins? And once, my dad, he said, no, they're clones.
I love it.
And sometimes we like to come with like funny responses. Like once I said, no, we're actually cousins. Our parents are twins. And my dad and her mom, they got married and they both had girls. So
I love
Oh,
it.
we
that's
look like
cute.
twins. And sometimes they actually believe it, and it's really, really funny.
I'm going to use that clone line.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Do you, I already can't tell your kids apart. I know that one wears pink mostly and one wears purple, but I still have no idea which is which. Now, do you guys share a room?
Yes, we share a room. We have an apartment in LA, and we share a room here, and then in Philadelphia, we share a room there.
Okay.
But I actually like sharing a room with my sister because if I'm ever, like, bored in the middle of the night, I can just wake her up and talk to her. And I do that a lot. And she does that to me, too. But I feel like if I had my own room, I would just be, like, really bored and lonely all the time.
Okay.
So me and my sister, we like to share a room. And when our parents are like, oh, do you guys want to have separate rooms now? And we say no, we don't. Because we love being together. And she always makes everything so much more fun.
All right.
I love that. That's very sweet.
So on Fancounters, we always like to ask our guests about their experience with their fans. Now, you're quite young, but you have been acting for quite some time. So do you have any experiences with fans that are sweet or funny or weird or creepy?
A recent encounter that I had was I was doing a photo shoot with my dad, just like a regular photo shoot. We were shooting some outfits, and we were crossing the street, and then somebody yelled from their window, you guys are those twins in Mirabelle! But I had to, I was running and waving at the same time because the light was about to turn red. It was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I was like, hi, I love you. And I was running and waving at the same time. It was pretty cool. Okay. And I was at Santa Monica Pier with my friends Amir and Amari, and we were just crossing the street, and then somebody came up to us and asked to take a picture. And it was really cool because it was in the middle of the street. We took the picture. And there's been a lot of weird fan encounters. I was on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and me and my sister were putting our hands in the little hand molds thing. Mm-hmm. And my sister, she was trying to do a press handstand, so she was kicking her legs up in the air, being really weird. And somebody tapped her back, and then they told us that they followed us on Instagram. They asked to get a picture together. And we felt really embarrassed because we were acting super weird. And we still got a picture with them. They were actually twins like us, and it was pretty cool.
Flipping that question around a little bit, you've obviously worked with some massive celebrities. Have you ever met anybody that you were starstruck to either work around or meet?
Definitely Yarji and Charles Melton, because I watched Blackish and Grownish every single night. I was just watching it now, and I've always watched her on TV, and it was so cool meeting her in real life. I was just in awe because in real life, she's just so nice and kind. And also I watched Riverdale, and Charles Melton, he's on that show too. He plays Reggie, and I saw him, and I was freaking out. All my friends, when they found out I was going to be working with him, they were like, get a picture, send it to me. And we were all fangirling.
Oh, that's cool.
So, here's a couple of fun questions. What do you like to do on your perfect day off?
My perfect day would probably, I would go to an amusement park with my friends, and then we would do a spa day, and then eat ice cream.
Okay.
That's so fun to me.
What's your most embarrassing moment?
One of my most embarrassing moments was when I was in gym class, and I was doing the high jump. So it was my turn to go up, and I was about to start running so I could jump over the little bar. Mm-hmm. And then while I was running, I fell flat on my face.
Oh.
It was so embarrassing. And then everybody was kind of laughing at me, but it was so embarrassing. And my friends were like, Anais, are you okay? And they're helping me up. And I was oh my God. It just cringes me to think back to that. But now I kind of make fun of it now. And in my acting class, we had to act out one of our most embarrassing moments, and I acted out that one. And, and everybody was laughing. And, I just kind of make fun of it now.
Look, if you can't make, see the fun in your life and your mistakes, then you're truly missing out.
Unless she, and thank goodness she wasn't hurt.
Well, as long as she's not hurt, yeah. Now, this is a new question I've come up with that I'm very curious to see. The first person I've asked this to. So, if you could know the answer and the total truth to one question, what question would you ask?
It would probably be, what can I do better on my auditions and callbacks? Because I have gotten, feedback, but, they're always, the same things, work on your diction, slow down. But I would like to know, what I can really, really do, performance-wise, my emotions, what I can do better, because I always, you always can do better, and, they're never perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, ideally, I wish I could book every single role that I went out for, but, that's not how life works. But I really want to know, what I can do better on all my roles, so I can start booking more and more and more roles. Because I love being on set. It's my favorite time ever. Every time I get another opportunity to be on set, reading my lines, I'm always so happy.
So it's almost summer. So do you guys have any great big plans for summer, like a summer vacation or something fun this summer?
Right now, I'm in LA, and over the summer, we're going to go back to our house in Philadelphia, and I'm going to hang out with a bunch of friends, have pool parties by my pool, and then Labor Day weekend, right before I go back to school, me and my family were going to go to Iceland.
Ooh,
wow.
I'm so excited. My parents, they used to live there with my grandmother because she used to have a job there, and they always tell me stories about their time in Iceland. I've always wanted to go, so I'm so excited. But I heard the flight was 10 hours, so I'm a little nervous for that part because I've flown back and forth from Philadelphia to LA, and those are 5 hours.
Right.
But I've never done anything over that.
You can do it.
9-hour flight or 10 hours.
Hey, they give you a TV with a DVR in your seat, so you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
You watch a lot of movies.
Load up your iPod.
One more small question before we go. We love to hear people's inspirations. So who is the person that inspires you the most?
The person that inspires me the most, I know a lot of people say this, but it's actually really my mom, because she's so hardworking, and she always tells me stories from her childhood. And from that little girl, now she's grown to be this amazing and smart woman. And my mom, she's so nice, and she always does everything that makes me happy. And if she tells me, hey, if you want to do gymnastics, I'll sign you up for gymnastic classes. If you want to do soccer, I'll sign you up for soccer. Whatever you want to do, just you do it. I'll always support you. And she's my biggest supporter. She's my number one fan, and I love my mom so much.
Now, is your mom your manager?
We like to call her our momager.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
I have agents and a manager, but my mom, she controls all of it. She accepts my auditions if I need to turn down one because I'm somewhere else in the world. She's the one that manages all of that, and all of my interviews, she manages those too. So she's the best momager.
So she does not have another job besides the two of you?
She's also a lawyer, and she's a really good lawyer.
Oh, goodness.
That'll come in handy.
Bless
she
her.
tells me that I should go to law school. I don't know, but she tells me it's a really good thing to study. So, when I'm older, I'm probably going to go to law school because I mainly want to be an actor. But my mom is just so smart, and she went to law school. She told me she did a bunch of studying. So I think it'd be I want to have as much knowledge as her because she's just so wise and she knows everything.
I hope I could say that about me someday.
Well, and I think that's a good idea because obviously you'll be reading contracts and signing all of those things, and a law degree will come very helpful to you. I think that's a great idea.
I'm very glad that my mom manages me because my dad, he's an engineer, so he's mainly like the math kind of guy. He helps me, like he does like the taxes and stuff. But my mom, when we're like signing contracts, she like reads over it. She's like so smart with that stuff, and I feel like it'd be very helpful in the future.
Yeah.
Because like signing contracts. Because when you're an actor, you always have to sign contracts, and she's very smart with that. Because she always knows what's best for me.
So what else do you have coming up that you'd like to talk about?
I have some really exciting things coming up. I can't say too much about it, but right now I am working with the executive producer, Irene Dreyer. She's the executive producer of Sister Sister and Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, Sweet Life on Deck. And we've known her for a few years now, and she's the nicest person you could ever meet. I love her so much. And yeah, there's a lot of like exciting, fun things coming up.
Good.
I'm really excited to announce.
Okay.
Well, we will be looking for those announcements. So with that being said, where can we follow you on social media to hear about all these things coming up?
You can follow me on Instagram at Anais Mirabelle. She has a page for my twin sister. It's ANAISMIRABELLE. And we also have a YouTube channel where we like to post vlogs and challenges. And I edit all the videos. I was just editing one now.
Nice.
And YouTube is really fun to do because I like experimenting with different transitions, effects I can do on all my videos. So a lot of our videos are like really funny vlogs, and yeah.
Very cool. Well, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you, Mom, for helping set this up. Anais, you've got a very bright future ahead of you, and we cannot wait to see you in The Sun Is Also a Star, opening this weekend in theaters.
Yes.
Yes, you guys are going to love it.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our thanks to Anais Lee for joining us on the show today. Her new movie, The Sun Is Also a Star, is in theaters today. Go see it. Make sure you see it this weekend because you know the box office numbers only count for the weekend that things open. So get out there.
I'm looking forward to it.
You can follow us on social media. Join our group on Facebook, Sharpie Nation. And if you want to see us on Twitter, you can at Fancounters Live. And you can also email us
at hello@fancounters.com.
Do you have a guest that you want to hear on Fancounters? Well, send us an email and let us know. And we'll do our best to get them on the show. And if we do, we're going to come back to you and ask you what you want us to ask them.
Yes.
All right, that's going to do it. Make sure you join us next week for another great guest on Fancounters, and we'll talk to you then.
See ya. Bye.
This was a podcast from the PodFix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.